But today we're going to focusing on the messaging app, which is sending text messages to our friends and family, blocking text messages, deleting text messages, anything with that topic. And of course, we are going to do both iPhone and Samsung Android phones. So please be patient as I go through slides for both phones today. So we're going to get started with the first topic today, which is something that we should all know how to do, which is sending text messages with pictures and video. And on the screen, we have two apps that should look familiar to you. On the left-hand side of the screen, we have the iPhone text messaging app. And on the right-hand side of the screen, we have the Samsung Android text messaging app. So if you have iPhones, we're going to do it first. So make sure if you want to do it along with me today that you click on that green messaging app. If you're using your phone today for the Zoom call, I recommend then writing it down on a piece of paper and pen if you want to follow along. If not, the video will be on YouTube, hopefully by the end of the week, okay? So let's get started with how to send text messages with pictures and videos with an iPhone. So we're all going to go to our text messaging app, which is that bubble icon right there on the screen that I just showed you. And when we do get to this app, you should see messages all the way at the top. If you don't see it, go up with your finger. And you should see already conversations with people. So if you're someone already that sends messages to friends and family, you should have a list of all these different conversations. So there's two ways of how you could do it. You could click on someone that's already on the screen of your family member, friend, or you can start a new conversation. So we're going to start a new conversation. We're going to start fresh. So I'm going to point an arrow to what I'm looking for. So all the way in the top right-hand corner, you have a notepad, a square with a pencil. And we're going to tap on that to start a new conversation with someone. Okay, so we're going to click on the square with the pencil in the top right-hand corner. And when we do click on that, we should get a screen like this, where at the top it says 2. At the bottom has different icons. It should have the keyboard ready for you. It should look something like that on the screen. At the top where it says 2, this was where we add who we're sending the message to. So we could type in any of our family members' name. If not, you could also just type in a number if you know their number by heart. And this is just practice, right? So you don't have to do this with me. You don't have to actually send a picture to a friend or family. We're just practicing. But at the top, we put in someone's name. And after we add someone's name, at the bottom of the screen is where we can add a text like, hi, how are you? But the most important part is that little flower icon. So on the screen, I have a red arrow pointing at a flower. And that flower is our photo gallery. So when we tap on that flower icon, it should open up a screen at the bottom that shows all of our pictures that we have took. So if you're not someone that takes a lot of pictures, it's just going to show whatever's the most recent picture that you took. If you never took any pictures, well, if you click on that flower icon, you're just not going to see anything. But that flower icon is going to show you all the pictures that you have in your phone. And to send it to someone, all we have to do is just tap on the photos that we want. And we can tap as many pictures or videos that we want to send it to the person. You could go up and down with your fingers to look at all the pictures that you have, and just tap on it lightly to select the pictures that you want to send to your friend or family member. And once you feel satisfied of the pictures that you have selected, you do want to tap on that arrow button on the right-hand side of the screen. And I'm going to give it a circle right now on the screen. That arrow is to send off the picture or the video. Does anybody have any questions on that? Okay, so one last
I just
thing.
want to ask you one question. How would you send the picture to someone who's not in your contacts?
If they're not in your contacts, that means that in the beginning, when I said to put a person's name and the two, you have to just type their phone number. So all the way at the top, right here, if I draw a circle right now on the screen where it says 2, you have to type in their full phone number. Any other questions for iPhone users?
Yes, I have a question that I wanted to copy something from one email to put it into another, and I don't know how to do that.
So today we're doing text messages, not emails.
Oh, I'm sorry. Was it a text message?
You want to copy a text message and send it to somebody else?
Correct.
Well, for that, all you have to do is just press down on the text and it'll say copy.
Oh, okay.
You have to hold it down with your finger and and then it's gonna give you the option to say copy.
Okay, and then how do you, okay, good.
Yeah, and then if you want to send it to somebody, you press down on, hold on. You press down on the area to talk and it'll say the word paste. So you see here, I wrote a red circle. You just press down on there and hit paste.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Any other questions about iPhone of this screen? Okay, so we're gonna move on now to Android, Samsung phones, the same exact thing, sending text messages with a photo or video. Once again, right, you don't have to just send a picture. This is also how you send a video. But if you're someone that's never took a video, that's why you don't see videos when you clicked on that flower. Just keep that in mind. So with Android, Samsung phones, we want to find something that looks like this on our phones. It is a blue app icon. It may vary with how it looks. Some are like blue like this. Some have the little 3 dots, some don't. But it is a blue app. And when we find this app, we're going to tap on it. And all the way at the bottom right-hand corner, because I did this class in the center, we have 2 versions. Some may have a blue circle at the bottom right-hand corner, and some will just have the word start chat. So depending on what type of Android, Samsung phone you have, there are 2 versions of it, so that's why I included both of them today. But it should be all the way at the bottom right-hand side, a little messaging icon or the word start chat. And when we tap on that, we as well get a screen just like the iPhone, where at the top of the screen, we have to write either a person's name, if they're already in our contacts, or we type in the phone number. So if the person is not in your phone, you just have to type in their phone number. If you have it somewhere on a piece of paper, or if you know it by heart, just type it in right now at the top of the screen. And all the way at the bottom is how we are going to send a picture. Now, this picture here on the screen is a bit different than what you might see on your phones for Androids. It is usually a square icon that has like a little camera attached to it. It's always on the left-hand side at the bottom of the screen. And when we do tap on that square camera icon, what should open is a list again of all your different photos that you have took on your phone, which is downloading photos within messages, all right? So a lot of times people send you a photo or a video and you yourself want to save that memory, you want to save that photo in your phone, right? You don't want to keep it in just the text messages. So there's two things that happens when someone sends you a picture. Usually when someone sends you a picture, remember this is on iPhones, right next to your picture, I'm putting an arrow so everyone can see what I'm talking about, is a little download symbol right next to the picture on the right-hand side. And when we tap on that, it's going to change into a check mark to show us that we downloaded that picture into our phone. And this is usually for the newer updates, right? So if you do not see that icon that I'm pointing to right now on the screen, that is okay. If you don't see that, what you could also do is just hold down the picture with your finger. Just use one finger. You hold the picture down very gently, lightly. Don't press too hard into the screen. And you're gonna watch that the picture is going to lift up a little and it's gonna say the word save right under the picture. And those are two ways to download a picture or a video. Any questions for iPhone on that? So now let's go over how to download a photo with Android. So I don't have a picture of a photo, but I do have the icon here on the screen. So if you do have an Android right now and you know of a conversation where someone has sent you a picture, I want you to go to that conversation and I want you to tap on the photo. I don't want you to hold it down. I want you to lightly tap on it. And when you lightly tap on it, all the way in the bottom left-hand corner is going to be this icon on the screen. So I just gave it a circle so you know what I'm talking about. And that is the icon to download a picture for an Android Samsung phone. So remember, tap on the photo, do not press it down. And all the way in the bottom left-hand corner will be the save icon. Any questions on that for Android Samsung phones? So now we're going to move on to deleting text messages. So why is it important to delete text messages? So a lot of times if you are someone that's constantly on your phone sending text messages, or let's say you have a family member who's always sending you pictures or always sending you videos of events of their grandchildren or anything like that. Let's say it's just someone that's constantly sending you pictures or videos. Sometimes it is important to delete those text message conversations because they do take up space. So if it is someone that constantly sends those photos and videos, sometimes you do need to delete their text conversation to clear the space. If it's just like 5 messages saying hi, hello, then no, that's fine. That's not wasting space. I'm talking about constant videos all the time or photos all the time. Those two attachments take up space. Regular text messages, it doesn't really take up space unless you're always texting the person every day, and you're sending them 50 messages back and forth throughout the day. Then that takes up space. Sometimes people just like to delete their text messages to be organized. Some people like to leave their conversation, so it is a personal preference. But once again, for photos and videos and messages, that does take up space. So if we go back to the message app icon, and I want to go on the screen that shows all the text messages with people. So right now, this is a screenshot of someone's text conversations with multiple people. If we just use one finger and swipe to the left of any of the conversations, you're going to see this purple and red button. And some people have the words hide alert and the word delete. Some people are just gonna see the garbage can symbol and the little sound symbol. But that's what it means, hide alerts and delete. If you click on hide alerts, what that is gonna do is at any time someone sends you a text message, you're not going to get a notification that they sent you a message. So for example, if your friend sent you a text message and you pressed hide alerts, the next time they send you a text message, you're not gonna see it anymore. Your phone is not going to give you that ding. It's not gonna do that anymore. Your phone won't vibrate. So make sure you don't hit on hide alerts. But you're gonna use one finger and swipe to the left. So like right here at the top of the screen, this is a number 670-76. So we would just hold our finger and swipe to the left to get those two icons. So make sure you put your finger on one of the conversations and swipe it. Don't tap on the conversation, just slightly swipe your finger to get these red or purple button. Any questions on that? For iPhones.
So yeah, so if you want to save the video, what would you do? Hi, how are you?
Hi, if you want to
Hi.
save the video, that was in the last thing that you could tap on the picture and hit the word save. Hold the picture down and hit the word save. That's for saving a photo or video, same thing.
And so where do you put it then? You leave it there?
Once you save the video, it saves to your photo gallery.
Okay.
And then you could delete the conversation because now it's already saved in your photos.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Any other question on this for deleting a message? Okay. So for Androids, it is a bit different on deleting text messages. It's a different type of motion to do on the screen. But so when you do find your messaging app and you're on the screen that shows all of your conversations, what you want to do for Samsung Android phones is actually hold down on the conversation. So when you hold down on the conversation, you should get these little check marks next to the name. So I'm gonna bring an arrow, or I'll put a circle. When you hold down on a conversation, an arrow is going to appear next to their name. And then you can start selecting multiple conversations, and you could hit the garbage can that's all the way in the top. And I'm gonna put an arrow too so you can see. Sometimes some people don't have this option where if you hold it down, it doesn't have a check mark. So what you're gonna have to do is find the little 3 dots in the top right-hand corner and then click on the word delete. Unfortunately, different Android models have different instructions, so I'm trying my best to get all the versions of what your model may have. But there's for Androids, it's 2 things. You hold down the conversation, a check mark will appear, and there'll be a garbage can at the top. Or for some phones, you have to click on the 3 dots in the top upper right-hand corner and hit the word delete. For Androids, does that make sense? Any questions on that for Android phones? And like I said, same rules apply with Android. If someone is always sending you pictures and videos, you do want to delete that conversation because that is going to take up space if someone's constantly sending you pictures and videos.
Is it better to send it on messages? Is it a better way to send those photos on email?
Well, even though like someone, you would just have to, organize yourself. So if someone's always sending you pictures and videos, you're gonna want to either save them right away into your photo gallery and then you can delete that conversation. But this is for someone who's like, their phone always tells them they do not have space, right? If you
Right.
don't get that message, I don't want you to get paranoid about it, that your phone's not gonna have space. These are for people that their phone says like, hi, we cannot save your pictures because you don't have any space in the cloud, things like that. If you get that message, then yes, I do want you to delete those conversations to save space.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so we're gonna go now to blocking scam text messages, which is a really important topic to end this presentation. And maybe some of you already started to get scam text messages, maybe you haven't, but it is a new common tactic, especially for older adults. I'll give you some examples, right? So sometimes people get text messages on their phones, even I do too. It's not just for older adults. I get these too. Sometimes you get a message that says, "Oh, your Amazon package cannot be delivered. Click right here so we can update your address." And you think it's actually Amazon texting you, but it's actually just a scam person that's trying to get your information about you. Or there's also I get stuff from like the bank, right? Your bank is never going to text you, but we do have these fake scam text messages from banks like Citibank or Chase, American Express, and it says, "Oh, your account is hacked. Click on this link so we could change your password." All of those are scam text messages to get your information. So if you ever see text messages about a package not delivered or your bank, someone has withdrawn money, I'm gonna show you today what to do of how to block them. And also, if you're still worried about, this type of message and you think maybe something is wrong with my account, you can always call the bank directly. The number's always on the back of your credit card or debit card. But I do not want you to ever click on those links because those links in those text messages do lead to viruses on your phone, and those viruses, they can hack into your phone and get into your information remotely. So we don't want to click ever on those links. So this is how we block scam text messages with an iPhone. So right here I have like a text message, right? And I didn't sign up for Wayfair order updates. So this is a perfect example of something that can be a scam, right? So sometimes your iPhone, and I heard in the center, Android phones do this as well. But sometimes when you get a text message, you may get a warning that the text may be a scam. So right here with this example, if you see on the screen right now, it says all the way at the bottom, I'm going to give it a circle. It actually says, this sender is not in your contact list. Report junk. Like, do you want to report this text message as junk? So I always do this. If I get a text message that from a person that I don't know of, and it's something about an order, something about shopping, if it's about a bank, I always report it as junk. And the reason why I report it as junk is because this is how I'm helping out other people, right? So when you report it as junk, you're notifying Apple that this is a scam number, that this number is not legit. And I want to warn others that if they get a message like this, they should right away report it as a scam. And if more people start to report it as junk, then finally that actual person who's pretending to be these companies can get into trouble. So it is important that you report it as junk. And if we all do it together, that's how we can decrease those people who are scammers. So that's just the first thing. So if you ever see the word report junk for something, I do recommend you to click on it and report it as junk. However, if you've never seen this before, your phone hasn't been updated, or maybe your phone just didn't give you this message, that's perfectly fine as well. I'm just saying, if you do see it, I do recommend for you to hit report junk. Once we do report it as junk, we want to actually now block this number, right? So when we actually block the number, what we're doing is anytime they try to text us again, we're not going to get that text message. So I block this number, which means that if they try to message me again, I won't get notified of it. My phone's not going to ring. My phone is not even going to show the message. And that's why it's important to block numbers. So you can practice here today. If you don't have an example of a scam message, that is totally okay. You could take some notes or follow along to see what I do. But, or in the future, if you get a scam message. But all the way at the top of the screen, when someone sends you a text message, there's like this little tiny caret icon. And I'm gonna put an arrow so everyone can see what I'm talking about. It's very small and faint, but trust me, it's there. It's right next to the number, a little caret that is an icon that is facing to the right, like a little arrow. And when we tap on that tiny arrow, we get the second picture on the screen that's on the right-hand side, where it says to call them, to send them our location, to hide alerts. But then we have the most important, which is information. Information about this number and things we could do with that number. Info. So we could tap on where it says info. And when we do tap on the word info, all the way at the bottom is the word block this caller. And that is what we're going to do anytime we get a fake message that the bank has contacted us or a package has not been delivered. We're going to scroll all the way down and hit that block this caller. Does anybody have any questions on what I just showed you?
So Tabitha, I have a question.
Yes.
So I got this Citizen Bank yesterday that came up on my phone,
Right.
and I just deleted it. But here's my question. If I would have gone in on it so that I could block the caller, how would that work? Would I have to be connected to it first and then block it? So I suppose my question is, I deleted it right away.
Right. So instead of deleting it, right? Okay, so let's say they contact you again, right? Um, just by you tapping on that text messages, nothing's gonna happen as long as you didn't tap on any links, right? So you
Okay.
like, let's say we get on this page, right? This is the page. They sent you a message just like this. Just you reading this, nothing's gonna happen to your phone. It's when you actually start texting them or start pressing on any links they sent you. But when you get to this page, Carol, I know you just deleted it. But next time you do want to get to this page and block them, you want to tap on the number at the top, hit info, and all the way at the bottom was block this caller. Because this is going to help you for them not to contact you in the future. So in the
Okay.
future, you may get another message again, another scam like that. But now you know the steps to do so they won't contact you again.
So just to go over it, Tabitha, if you would, what do I tap on to get onto the page that is going to allow me to block the caller?
The number
So,
or the carrot, right?
right, yeah. So they're gonna text you, right? You're gonna
Yeah.
tap on the text, the conversation.
Okay.
All the way at the top is the number and a little caret button.
Right.
It's very faint
Okay.
and small.
Okay.
But if your finger just presses on it, it will open up.
Okay.
And it's gonna open up to a page, the second page on the screen right here.
Okay.
And you want to tap on info. That's going to give you information about the caller.
Okay. Where is the info?
Right here. Do you see on the screen, or are you on another app? Can you
No.
see on the right hand side it says info? I'm put an arrow and
Oh,
I'll put a circle.
oh, all right. I see it with the person in there.
Yeah,
Okay. So you tap on that and that'll bring you to the page where
just
on the bottom you say, it says block caller.
exactly.
Oh, okay. So it's carrot and then the person, and then you just proceed to block the caller.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
so deleting the message was also a good thing to do because it is important we don't engage in that conversation. So
Right.
deleting is fine, but I do recommend blocking them just so they just won't
Right.
contact you anymore in the
Right.
future.
Right.
But
Okay.
what Carol did was perfectly fine. She didn't text them back. She didn't call the number because the bank is never going to send you a text message. Doesn't matter what bank you have, they're not going to send you a text that says, "Hi, can we change your password? Hello. Oh, where your account is missing $300. Call us right now." Like, they're not gonna say that to you.
Okay. Got it. All right. I appreciate that help. Thank you.
Any other questions for iPhones about this topic right here? So, okay, the same thing with Samsung and Android. There's also two ways to do it. So if anybody has an Android here today, I do want you to help me out so I could get it correctly because there are multiple ways to block text messages and I just want to get it right. So, once again, we're on the app for messaging. And what I found out from the center, there are many ways to block depending on the type of Android model that you have. And I found online different versions, so I'm gonna try to do my best to go over the different ways to block people through messaging. So one thing that you can do is when someone texts you, you want to tap on that conversation. And all the way at the top is going to be their number, right? So I'm just gonna point at their number too. Of course, it's not gonna have a name like Lauren here on the screen. It's gonna just be a number. And when you do tap on that number, you should see the word block. But that's not the case for all Android phones, but that is one version that some models do have. So I just want to reiterate that because every model is not going to be the same. Some people do not have all the same Android phones. So one way is all the way at the top is the phone number. You tap on it and you get a screen that says block number. That's one way, okay? There's another way where all the way at the top of the screen, if you see, there's a little I for information. When we tap on that I for information, it should also give us an option to block the number or block contact. That's the second way. And then there is also a third way, depending on what phone model you have. So the third way is this little button. You may have these three little dots or even have the word that says more. With those three little dots, you may get an option that also says details or the word block. And that is going to lead you to block the contact. So there's three ways. I know it's complicated. I wish I knew everyone's phone model, but I'm just trying my best with all the different models that they have. But those are the three ways that where you could find it for Android phones. Any questions from Android users? Maybe you could tell me which one was the one that worked for you.
Hi, it's Helene.
Hi.
I can use almost all of them, I think. I can use the block and I can use the three dots.
Okay, good. So you found it. That's the
It was very
important
easy,
part.
actually.
Okay, good.
And I don't know what I'm doing, and it was easy.
Okay, so that's good. So she said that she had the block and she also had the little three dots, she said.
Right. I didn't have the eye.
She didn't have the eye. Okay, so some people have the eye and some people have just three dots, so that's why I wanted to include both pictures. Okay, any other questions from Android phones?